I was doing a fundraiser for a hospice. People paid a lot of money to be there. And the nun went out ahead of me and started hitting them up for more money. She started beating them down for more money, right? She gets out ahead of me and she goes, we were halfway through building the new wing on the hospice and we are $5 million short. Basically pony up, everyone. Well, I'm not Catholic, but I know you can't make fun of the nun, right? So I went out, I used a survey method. I said, Sister Mary just told us we were halfway through building the new wing on the hospice and we are $5 million short. Quick survey. How many people think we should not tell that to the construction crew?
A lot of people go to comedy clubs to celebrate something, and I got to be a part of those celebrations. Good and not so good. Yeah, there was a club in Dayton, Ohio called Jokers that was owned by a wonderful woman named Lisa Grigsby, and she was also a very smart businesswoman. She specialized in bridal showers and bachelorette parties, and because of that, she sold sex toys. Yeah, as you walk into her club, there were several very prominent display cases of sex toys, and once the party would get seated, each woman would be given a sex toy menu, and they could check off what they wanted discreetly. The waitress would bring it in for them in a brown paper bag. Lisa said she made a ton of money off of these, and it encouraged a lot of brides to have their party at her club. Now, the bridal showers and bachelorette parties were good for business, but not so much fun for the comedians. First, I think the groups were disappointed to see me, a woman comic, on stage. But more importantly, the women were usually there to get drunk and to make the show all about them. They wanted attention. And some nights there were several bridal showers at once, so they were competing for attention. Hey, look at me, I'm the bride. Though you could usually pick out who the bride was easily because she was wearing a vibrator hat or something like that. I loved working the club, but geez, the bridal bonanza could be brutal. Aside from bridal stuff, though, lots of people celebrated their birthdays at comedy clubs. I once ruined a surprise party by accident, and it wasn't my fault. It was a local club that I started out in, so I was not only emceeing, but I was also in charge of collecting tickets at the door. The club owner told me that a woman had paid for 10 tickets, but he didn't tell me what it was for. People just came to the door and said they were with Susan's party, and I let them in. Right before the show started, Susan walked up with her husband. I thought I was being nice and helpful when I said, "Oh, hi, you're Susan? Most of your group is already inside." Her husband looked at her and she got pissed and said something like, "Great, you ruined the surprise." Yeah, it was a surprise birthday party for him. And yeah, 10 minutes later, I had to get on stage to start the show. And yeah, she and her group glared at me the whole time and let me know that they hated me. I called the club owner later and said, next time you need to tell me a little bit more about the group. He apologized. Aside from birthdays and women's parties, though, I've also been on stage during other celebrations. One notable time was at a club in New Jersey. I saw this group roll up outside in a stretch limo, and then during the show they were toasting a lot and just having a great time. Not obnoxious at all, just really celebrating. I asked what was going on, and it turns out a guy in the group was in Atlantic City a few nights earlier, and he won $1 million at the slot machine. Yeah, you never hear of that, right? He had a great story. He said he had never gambled before in his life, and so when they walked into the casino, he put a $20 bill into a slot and pulled the lever. Just as his friend said, "You're an idiot. No one puts a whole $20 bill in and plays it all at once." Well, just then the alarms went off and he won. He said he was going to get something like $50,000 a year for 10 or 15 years. Unbelievable. He was taking his friends out for a night on the town, and they were just such a nice group. The takeaway tip from this is help others celebrate whenever you get the chance. Yeah, some of the celebrations were annoying, like bachelorette parties, and some comedians got mad that they had to deal with all the drunk women. But I never got angry about these parties because I realized that these people were getting together to have fun and commemorate something meaningful to them. So I kept that in mind and played along to help them have a great night. So make sure you help others celebrate when you get the chance, even if it's irritating to you. That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Feel free to check out my website, theworklady.com. This is Jan. Take care and enjoy your journey.